Hey Tim, so if you head over to jensenworks.com/Tim, you'll see there is a video here called using the JensenWorks website management tool, and that'll give you a quick overview on how to actually use it. This here is the link. I just have it bookmarked here, so it takes you right to manage.jensenworks.com. In my case, I'm already logged in, so it's just going to automatically load, and it's automatically going to start loading all this information here. And then when you go to do the Botanicals website, the thing that I wanted to share with you specifically was the process of using a system called WP Favs. So let me just go to something new here. Actually, you know what? I'll just use Botanicals since we've got it anyway. Just go over to the login details. I've already expressed to Callum about not using the admin thing and not sending passwords around. So we'll save that for now. Now the plugin is called WP Favs. I'm just gonna pull this over into another window here so I can get that loading. So you just type in WP Favs. This should be the first plugin you install on any website. Hit install now and activate, and then go to settings. And I'm just waiting for my email to load here so I can get the code number. Holy. Okay. So what we're going to be entering here is just an API key. The API key is what allows us to instantly pull a list. This is what I was explaining to you. And hopefully this goes a little quicker. Oh my goodness, my email is just taking a moment to load here. All right, am I in the wrong? Just gonna log in, it's just easier. Okay, so this is where this API key never changes. So I'm gonna send this to you. I'm gonna put it. I'll put it in the Asana task, so you can just copy and paste it. I'll keep it somewhere for yourself so that you have access to it in the future. Just let that load for a second here. So once you enter the API key, you just hit Get WP Faves. You can see it's establishing a connection to the server, and then it says JWT defaults run this list. So you're going to run this list, and now it's got all these plugins. The easiest thing to do is to select, select all of them, and then there's a few that you can eliminate right away. Generally speaking, Akismet's already going to be installed, so we don't need that. Automatic featured images from videos is a good one to keep to start with, but it eventually it's usually eliminated after the fact. Duo two-factor, I want to get that one off the list. Maybe I'll just update this so the next time you run it, you don't have to remember all this. Facebook featured image, don't need that anymore because it's covered by Jetpack. There's Infinite WP, there's Jetpack. Login IP and country restriction allows you to basically restrict the login to a certain IP address or to a certain country or both. Pinterest pin it button, I usually don't enable that. Rublon, I keep handy just in case, but I don't want to hinder your ability to log in right now, so we'll keep that one off. Scalable vector graphics is a nice way to take into account tablets, iPads especially, that have nice retina display capabilities. Simple social icons, I will leave that one there for now, but you often end up getting the ability to have your social media icons built right into a theme, so it's not really entirely necessary all the time. Stop XML RPC attack is not necessary on this server yet. We will find out soon enough. Styles applies to only certain themes. If I am going to use one of those themes, that's why I have them there, so that they are at the ready. Security, I do keep. WP Mobile Detect is a great way to quickly be able to sort of segment content that you want to appear on mobile versus how you want it to appear on another, like on a desktop. And the beauty of it is it's not like you have to segment entire pages or anything. You can actually just have different content show up based on different mobile detection contexts. Limit login attempts doesn't exist anymore, so I got to get that one off the list as well. And WordFence security we keep in my sticky menu. Usually that one can go anyway. So now this is the list of plugins that's readily available. And so this way you're not left hoping that you get all of them right. So now that those are selected, I choose install and apply. So you can see here it's installing all of the plugins that were selected. Usually goes through this process fairly quick. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Return to the installer. So now these are what you can see, that whole list again, but you can see which ones are installed, which ones are not installed. So if you go to the list here to activate, now you can see that the list is segmented to just the ones we want to activate. So now you can hit that link again to select all those ones and then choose activate and apply. So 10 plugins that would normally take you 10 minutes each to find and install and activate were all just done in the course of like a minute. So now that they've been installed, now you want to head over to the plugins page. And you'll get all kinds of prompts now. Okay, so the first one you got this overlay here about taking the tour of WordFence. We don't need to take that tour. The next one that you're going to get is set up your Akismet account and your Jetpack. I'll do those in a moment. But for now, see here, it's got this, add this site to the IWP admin panel. What this is referring to is adding this site to IWP, this Infinite WP system over here. So I'm going to do it like this for now, but once we do have a new admin username and we've purged this one, we'll want to go through this process again, which is just a simple matter of deactivate and reactivate the plugin. But it's really great. You just click copy details, it automatically copies all 3 fields for you. Then you go back to Infinite WP, click on add website. You can right click and paste in one box and it automatically populates all 3. There's only 2 different groups. One is assets, which are things that are internal, like Maxogram or JensenWorks or my personal website or my wife's or whatever. Those would be considered assets. And then clients. And of course, Botanicals is a client, so we're going to choose to add them to the client list. Click on add site. Okay. And this is just letting you know that there's an update to the IWP client itself. So we'll choose to update that now. And you can see it's updating it here. And if we were to look at the plugins here, you'll see it's version 1.6.6.3. Not that it really matters, but now that plugin has been updated as well. So next steps. So now if I go just hit the same link again here, installed plugins, you'll see that this IWP goes away because that's been dealt with. Now before we set up the Akismet account, it's actually better and easier to set up the Jetpack account because then Akismet knows who we are. So connect it to WordPress.com. You may need to get my credential for this just to make it easy for you if you've never done it, and probably easier this way. Then it gets us attributed to the JensenWorks account, so we'll approve that connection for Jetpack. Jetpack has a lot of really great features. Start with free. I don't know if you saw that button on the bottom there. I just clicked it, start with free. And then activate recommended features is always a good idea. Jetpack has great features built in like stats and monitoring and protection and all kinds of great stuff. So protect, you want to enable that one. That just keeps your site protected from malicious sign-in attempts, i.e. like a brute force protection. And then downtime monitoring is managed through WordPress.com. Usually you don't have to change any other settings aside from that. Image performance is good to turn off while you're in development and good to turn back on when you're not, because what it'll do is it'll actually let you upload your images to the website as you're developing it, but then it will use WordPress's CDN or content delivery network to actually host and manage the delivery of those images. So it really has a great positive impact on your bandwidth usage. So that's it for as far as the Jetpack settings go, at least for now. Now if we go back to plugins again, now we can set up the Akismet account, and it should automatically know who I am based on my Jetpack account. So you see here, yes, it knows that this is who you are. So do you want to connect with Jetpack? Yep. And Akismet is just basically a spam protection system that just, does its best to prevent spam from showing up in your mailbox. Silently discard is the option I usually choose. I've found it to be 100% effective against beating spam, so choose silently discard and save changes. And that's it for setting those up. Now back to plugins. And you can see here, we've got this thing here that says to make your site as secure as possible. This is a convoluted process, so I'm not going to go over it right now. Hello Dolly is worth deleting. It's just a default plugin, and it comes back every time there's a new version of WordPress anyway. And then here you can see there's an update available to the version of WordFence. Now, if we did nothing right now, this would get managed simply by the fact that it would show up in this list that it has processed. But of course, we just added it, so it's not going to show up there yet. It hasn't audited that website. So, but I just want to draw to your attention the sheer number of ways that you can deal with something. So if you're working on a website and you see that there's this little ring, two-way ring here going with the number 1, you can see that when I hover over it, it says one plugin update available. Or if by the way, if you're not familiar, you can click this to go view the website, click it again to go back to the dashboard, click it again to go view the website, etc. You can see that number 1 appears again here. You can also see that there's an updates link here with the number 1, and you can see where that number 1 applies under plugins. Like, there's a lot of different ways to get to and do the same thing. Probably the easiest is just to click this link at this point. Although, again, you rarely ever would have to do this because it'll get covered by what's going on with Infinite WP. But it's just a simple matter. Check the box, click update plugins. We don't need to worry about VaultPress backups because our server, the server that we're on does do automatic backups. So we can forget paying extra for that. Return to the WordPress updates page. There's nothing further to update. There are no further settings to do with respect to the plugins that we've just installed, except for, of course, going through processes of enabling features and using the features for what they're there for. So now we've completed our use of WP Favs, so we can deactivate that. And once it's been deactivated, then you can delete it. I don't like to leave things lingering around, And that's it as far as using WP Favs to sort of quickly get you up and running. When I do this next one, I'll probably just cover it in another video. I may as well, although it requires, you'll see. Anyway, we'll leave it at that. So I'm going to do this one next, and then we're going to cover, what was I going to say? Figuring out what theme the website's using. So we'll do that next.